Pool floaters, are you ready?
Everybody ready?
We're ready!
We'll go
Ready.
in 3,
You're going down!
2, 1.
She pushes the button. There you go.
Oops, there you blocked
Oh,
me!
I lost already. I lost already.
We got people that fell off the floor.
I have an extra chair
So leave.
down. How did this happen? I'm a double tubing it right
That's not fair. They have a horse. I have a pumpkin or a watermelon. I don't know which one mine is. I think that's not a donut. It's a watermelon. Not fair. Ah, hit the
I'm
side.
going backwards! No!
Good evening, rescue enjoyers. Hope you're doing right, 'cause it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Now, before I proceed with the video, I just want to bring up this special feature that's been introduced to YouTube. If you watch all videos, my videos, on your smartphone, on the YouTube app, a brand new feature has been introduced, the hype feature. When you watch a video, you might notice these useful tools here, but if you scroll to the side, you'll see, oh, you can hype a video, but what does that do? Well, it's a new initiative to help out smaller channels, all channels with less than 500,000 subscribers. I'm one of those people. If you'd like to consider it, would you like to hype up this video? You can hype up to 3 different videos every week, and then it refreshes, all right? That's nothing out of your pocket. That's for absolutely free. For absolutely free, you can help me out if you want to. If you've sat here and enjoyed all my videos over the past few months, few years, it'll be super helpful, super nice. I'd be incredibly grateful for that if you would be generous enough to consider hyping up the videos. It doesn't have to be this one, it could be another one. It's up to you. But let's now proceed and talk about what we're here for. It is time to talk about the 48-hour analysis. I'm going to look at all these skins and try and figure out how much are each of them likely to sell by next Thursday, and then knowing that, of course, we need to figure out, are these skins still looking to be looking like perfectly fine investments, or are there going to be any potential problems that you need to be aware of? Of course, we will be comparing to previous Rustore skins, yes, and we'll get a pretty decent idea of how much they will be selling. But I've got to point out, first 24 hours of sales, Hedge was late. This Rustore was super early. I turned up at 28 hours. I was 4 hours late, and I was very sorry about that. I do apologise, but you could just probably deduct 500 to 1,000 subscribers. You probably got a clear picture still of what's going to happen by next Thursday, so okay, fair enough. But throughout this video, if you look in the description, all the chapters, they normally have all the suggestions for what I expect to be the estimates for the subscriber counts. It's going to be a little bit more generalised today. But still, some of the skins here still look like they're selling a little bit too much. It's like very obvious. And some of the skins look like they're selling just too little. So, of course, you should know. If certain skins clearly look like they're selling just a little bit too much, well, that might not be a very nice investment. But a skin that looks like it could be doing very nicely in the future, but it's selling like next to nothing, oh, well, that definitely sounds like a very interesting potential investment. You get the idea, and we'll explain ourselves as we go through all of these. So first 24 hours of sales, Sinotype Scrap, 19,500 to 20,500 subscribers. Sounds about right. It's very similar to what we've seen as of recent. Sinotype large boxes have been selling comfortably around and above 40,000 subscribers, so it's not going to be too hard to figure out that one. Funerary Kilt, Helmet, Vest, the Tier 2 set for the Funerary set. After the first 24 hours of sales, they already surpassed the amount of sales that the hoodie and pants did. That's going to be quite an interesting discussion. The special focused item for September 2025 is going to be the M39. Arctic Skull just so happens to be the very first one. Chances are, yeah, there's going to be a lot more of them, maybe up to 4. With the previous focused items, we saw 4 skins each, so okay. But that Arctic Skull M39, I did make quite a fuss about the fact that it's a white M39. Not fully, but white enough. There's no other M39 like it. With all the recent M39 skins that we've seen being accepted, that surpassed it in just a day. All of them, yep. So we'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. But could that also potentially be a problem? Or if it's the only white M39, maybe it still could work out. We'll discuss that in a bit. And with the remaining skins here, well, they seem to be selling quite alright. But this right here, I mentioned it in my predictions video. I showcased it in my Rust rotation video. That is not selling that much. And it's looking quite appealing, as I said. If a certain skin looks very appealing but isn't selling that much, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future. That's potentially going to be looking like a very nice investment. But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's get started. Let's try and figure out, Sinotype Scrap, how much might you sell by next Thursday? But it's really easy. Like, if I could just quickly switch over to here, looking at all the previous Sinotype skins, I mean, they've all ended up going over 40,000 subscribers. The more recent ones, I should clarify. But all I've got to do is just look at Sinotype Clothes. As I said, I could deduct 500 to 1,000 subscribers, 19,500, 20,500. Either way, it most likely is going to match up to the sales that the Sinotype Clothes did the previous week. So I'm on rusthelp.com, as you can see right here, and you can see Sinotype Clothes, you did just over 40,000 subscribers. Now, if I could just clarify, the Rust store rotated very early. Usually, quite a lot of people like to wait till the very last second, then make a purchase. I think a lot of people were hoping to do that this past Thursday, but considering this was the earliest Rust rotation to happen on a Thursday this year, I think maybe a lot of people missed out. Perhaps if it rotated a few hours later, chances are I probably would have got an extra 1,000 subscribers, perhaps. But looking at all the previous Sinotype skins, in fact, I could just click the collection here. Oh, wow. You'll notice 40,000 plus, 40,000 plus, 40,000 plus, 40,000 plus. It's just straightforward. Honestly, Sinotype Scrap's very likely going to be going over 40,000 subscribers. Maybe people don't care enough about a scrapbox that much, and maybe it does a little bit less. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to sit here and say I expect it's going to do between 38 to 43,000 subscribers. You have to kind of expect potentially maybe people might have spent all their money, and they probably don't want to buy that many more. So we'll see. But in comparison to all the other Sinotype large box skins, as you know, whilst they've sold quite a lot each, the lowest selling one was over 30,000 subscribers, and yet still very nice. But of course, all these came out after it, so that's in a very special spot. But look at Sinotype Ammo, 50% up. Sinotype Meds, 60% up. Sinotype Components, almost double in price. Yes, the recent tools isn't doing very good, but all of these are. And as I've already said many, many times, in my Rust rotation video, in my predictions video, a storage collection is a very nice long-term investment. Perhaps it might dip as we go through October. Wouldn't be surprised. Most skins are expected to drop from price. However, there's also a very interesting point in regards to October. It's expected with the update for October, we're going to see some buffs, some nerfs to certain weapons. Balance changes will be expected. You've got to keep an eye on the commits. Who knows what weapon's going to get nerfed, which one's going to get buffed. But certain skins are going to probably be a whole lot more in demand if a certain weapon happens to be buffed, made more powerful. Or if there's going to be a whole lot more demand to use it, could be a whole lot more demand to use skins. So I don't think that's going to affect boxes, storages, but just wanted to clarify, as we get closer to your full seasonal dip, maybe certain interesting things might happen. October's going to be very, very interesting. Might have to make a video talking about that, we'll see. So anyway, that's cool. I think Scrap will be fine. As we go through the next several weeks, it will just probably retain, maybe just be slightly up in price, up 50 cents. So yeah, okay, cool. Funerary Tier 2. Right now, as you can see, it's sitting here with just over 19,000 subscribers each. But if you were to compare to the hoodie and pants, the backpack, the poncho, oh yeah, 11,000 subscribers basically. 2 days in, it's basically doubled. Now I should clarify, I'm actually recording this quite a bit later. I just took part in a very nice sub-village with Rainbirds and Chrissy Tina. Like, I haven't been able to sit down and do this like super early. It is a little bit later, but still, the point was very clear. Even with the first 24 hours of sales, as you would notice, these already surpassed the hoodie and pants subscriber count. And I have to look quite far back to find something to compare to. And the thing I'm going to compare to probably isn't going to be super nice, but also quite interesting. What? It's a weird choice of words. Well, I'll showcase to you. These did 14,000 subscribers. You could probably say 14,000 subscribers. If I have to go back and compare to something, it will most likely be Under Assault Team Hoodie and Pants. Now, you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, they're in the positive. Yes, they are. But it's only because we got the Tier 2 literally the very next Rust store, which, of course, you can see over here. If that didn't happen, those Hoodie and Pants most likely would suffer bad. Because if I could just remind you, Under Assault Hoodie and Pants did 28 to 27,000 subscribers, and we're going to show that to you right now. So let's just quickly switch over to here. Let's just quickly go back to the past and showcase that. So if I could go all the way to what? Oh no, yeah, it was a bit late. So if I go to August 1st on here, which is actually July 31st, there we go. Oh no, wrong one. Whoops. Yeah, that did 28,200 subscribers. This did 27,300. In comparing with the Tier 3 only did about 20,000 subscribers. The Roadside Gloves did about 18,000 subscribers. The Boots only did just over 20,000 subscribers. I'm sure you understand, these hoodie pants, they sold a little bit too much, but they got the great benefit of seeing another core piece, the Tier 2, being accepted the very next rush store. Sold too much, but it got a get out of jail free card. I said this in my predictions video. If we do see Boots and Gloves or Tier 3 appearing and being accepted over the course of this weekend, I mean, fair enough. It's happened already this year. It could happen again. But if it doesn't happen, oh dear, problems. Basically, you might sit and say, but Hedge, it's a nice blackout alternative. Okay. What about all the other alternatives, like Pirate Collection, Legacy Kevlar, Dragon Rage, I can't remember all of them now. Last year we had Commando, Black Diamond. I mean, there's a lot to remember. Sorry about that. I'm also tired. But in regards to what we see here, I looked at these skins and I thought, if they're going to probably end up similar to Island Assault, and of course I was a little bit late to record the numbers, I think these are going to do between 26 to 30,000 subscribers. There's a chance that this could probably sell up to almost triple the amount that the hoodie and pants did. And if we don't see a collection continuation after that, I worry for those skins right there. I do. Yes, I do. So keep an eye on the workshop. Will we see another skin being made by the skin creator? Keep an eye out and see what they produce next. Last week they produced that sleeping bag. Will we see another attempt for the Tier 3, which was done about 2 months ago? So, okay, got to keep an eye out, got to keep an eye out. So right then, that's nice, that's cool. What about the next skin? So right now, Arctic Skull M39 has just over 16,000 subscribers. But if I could compare to the previous skins, earlier this year we had the Redemption M39, 13,764 subscribers. 7 days, and that only did just under 14,000 subscribers. Over 2 days, this has already got 16,000 subscribers. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, before this, we had Apocalypse Nomad, transparent aim sight, the only M39 with a transparent aim sight, only did just barely over 10,000 subscribers. Huh. Kevlar, it's just called Kevlar M39. That did just under 12,000 subscribers. Bombshot M39, that did just over 17,000 subscribers. And then you can look at the past, like this is back in like 2020. Tempered M39, almost 40,000 subscribers. Far too many sales happened. Now it suffers. Even today, many years later, it still suffers because there's just far too many of them in circulation. This right here, it does appear to be quite alarming because it's selling. It's already outsold these 3 skins, and it's getting close to the sales that has. I have already mentioned this in my predictions video, in my rust rotation video. Arctic Skull collection was appreciated because not everybody could afford the comics collection weapons. As you'll notice, slightly down, only down by 12%, up 18, only down by 23. Most AKs are down real bad, but that's not too bad. That's in the positive slightly, that's in the positive slightly. But if we were to quickly compare to comics collection, you'll quickly notice that with the AK, with the SAR, they're quite pricey. $18, $16.50 over here as well. That blends in very nicely if you're wearing like full whiteout. So, okay, cool, understood. There is demand. I will respect that. But in terms of how many sales are you going to reach by next week? Well, if we could just quickly hop over to here. I could see that this did just under 12,000 subscribers. However, again, the deduction, we could probably say 11 to 12,000. What did I compare to? Oh, Final Flight Garage Door and the Modern Military Boots. 11,300, and this did 12,400. I was kind of wanting to go in between. So how did both of these turn out? Well, if we could just quickly remind ourselves, if we could go back to the past, August 7, the August Force White Rust Off for 2025, that did 24,600 subscribers, and this did 21,484 subscribers. So looking at both of them, making a consideration, I thought the M39 was going to probably do between 21 to 25,000 subscribers. In theory, if that's the only white M39, maybe you know, the demand is good. People actually want it. I certainly didn't see a comics M39, did I? No. However, how often do you use the M39? Do you use it regularly? Do you use it all the time? I'm starting to have doubts. I don't think you use that much. It's quite noticeable. Like the skins, due to a sheer lack of them, they do appear to be doing quite alright, but only slightly. But we got like next to no options. Maybe this could be changed in the upcoming buffs and balances. October update. What will we see happen to this and all the other weapons? Alright? Keep an eye out. You have to be prepared for this. Maybe they'll turn around and make all Pythons a whole lot more powerful. Suddenly, like with most Pythons, they're not very in demand. Most Python skins are down real bad because people don't like using the Python itself. So, okay, I'm sure you get it. Maybe it might be okay, but the thing is, this skin is not abnormal. That might be a bit of a concern. We'll talk more about that on Wednesday night, because quite literally we're going to look there and consider what prices we want to offer. I can expect some potential interesting things, but I think a smart barter is going to be the way we go about it. I don't think, as of now, with the amount it likely will sell, it's going to be okay to make a purchase. But by all means, if you want one for yourself, if you actively want one, go ahead, buy it, treat yourself. But if you're thinking about probably grabbing about 50 or 100 to sell for a profit, I think you're better off with a buy order. So that's what I'm currently thinking. Temple Sheep with a Door. That right now only has just over 10,000 subscribers. But if I were to look at the first 24, I'm looking at you, 7,400 subscribers almost. Okay, but again, deductions. I thought if we could compare to the Funerary Poncho and Black Ops Python, so that wasn't too long ago, there you go. This and this, if we go like in between, it looks like we'll probably have a good indication of how far this brand new Temple Sheep with a Door might reach. So let's quickly hop back over to here. Let's go get a good look. So if I could just go back to the week before, complete the sets. Funerary Poncho, you did just over 17,000 subscribers, and this Python just over 15,000 subscribers. So that's looking pretty clear, 15 to 17,000 subscribers. But you know what? Might bump it up a little bit more to 18,000. So 15 to 18,000 subscribers. Again, I was late. The sales might not be 100% like easy to distinguish, but with its current sales right there, with the subscriber count, I think that could probably go all the way up to about 17 maybe. Maybe it might just cool off and only end up at 15. We'll see. But that's my estimate. But still, with that amount of sales, Temple Sheep in the Door, I don't really expect that much from you. With the collection, it's not exactly doing very good. Garage doors in general, far too many skins have been accepted as of recent, so they're all struggling. This one right here is complying with that. People don't really seem to appreciate satchel charges, and of course, they don't seem to care about the temple satchel charge. When it comes to the Sheep with the Doors, well, unfortunately, there's just far too many of them. In general, we've been seeing Sheep with the Doors for a very, very, very long time. But if you actually to sit there and add them all up, I'll tell you right now, 269, including Twitch drops. Look at all the skins that have come out so far this year. How many of them are actually in the positive? Just one, slightly above its retail price. Senior Tomato is doing okay. All of these other ones are down pretty bad. Down 39, down 67, down 48, down 16. Some of them are better compared to others, but they're all in the negative. That's not a good sign. That is not looking pretty. That is concerning. I'm worried. So that right there, by all means, if you like it, treat yourself, support the skin creator, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs. However, if you're going to ask, hey Hedge, is that going to get cheaper than $2.49 eventually? Yes, I won't be surprised in the slightest. Smart barter all the way. Squadron Python, so it's just a standard Python. I got a good look at it in my Rust rotation video. Thought it looked pretty cool. I'd like to see a weapon collection come out from this, but it's a standard Python. No transparent names, no transparent aim sight, no insane gimmicks or anything. Just a standard Python skin. And unfortunately, it doesn't stand out. Like most Python skins, as I alluded to just like a few minutes ago, they're not in demand because people don't seem to appreciate the actual weapon itself. If people aren't using the weapon itself that much, where's the justification to own skins? There you go. Lower skin prices then. So, yeah, you get the idea. Unfortunately, even the Heatseeker Python's gone down in price. September, October, November, the autumn fall seasonal dip. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not looking too good at the moment. But could things have a nice turnaround as we go through October? In just a few weeks' time, could we see Pythons getting a buff and people suddenly wanting to use them constantly? We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Anyway, comparisons. What were we comparing to for the Python? Night Demon Face and Abyss Backpack. Wasn't that last week? Yes. Okay, cool. So Night Demon Face, you did 14,000 subscribers, and the Backpack, you did just over 12,000 subscribers. So let's just quickly do the comparison. As you'll notice here, first 24 hours of sales, 6,000 subscribers, but again, 500,000 subscriber deduction. Let's just quickly compare to the previous week, and as you'll see, that did just over 6,000, and this right here did about 5,600. So there's a good bit of variety there. I think to sit here and say the Python's going to do between 12 to 15,000 subscribers, I think that's fine. I think it's nice and generalized, a pretty decent spot, but I still think buy-order. I'm just going to stick with a buy-order. Most of the Python skins that you see right here are down to $1 and less. It's not looking pretty, and I can't help but assume that's just going to follow suit. Until we see changes to the Python, yeah, problems. Deep Sea Fridge. Right now, only 7,000 subscribers, but if I quickly go over to here, get a good look at this, that did just over 5,300 subscribers. Maybe I might do about 500 less, maybe 1,000. What would I compare to? Well, I suggested Oasis Sheet Metal Double Door and Playmaker SAR. So that's the complete sets Rust door. The Oasis Sheet Metal Double Door, that had 5,400 subscribers, and the Playmaker SAR had 4,600 subscribers. Yeah, it's really small, sorry about that, but I had to zoom out. Okay, that's probably a perfectly fine thing. We're going to look and see what's in the middle. So let's just hop back over to here, go to complete the sets Rust door, and that right there, that Sheet Metal Double Door, that did just under 12,000 subscribers, and that SAR did 10,600. So my suggestion for the fridge is 10 to 13,000 subscribers. That seems to be okay. So hopping back over to here, getting a good look at the current sales. I think it could probably work out quite nicely. But we've seen quite a lot of fridges, haven't we? Yes, we have. Deep Sea Collection isn't exactly changing the world. That locker has dropped off pretty quickly. Yes, it has. And as I've already pointed out, the amount of fridges this year is getting a bit ridiculous. For something that used to be a very rare sight, suddenly not very rare anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4 skins in the positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the negative. Fancy old fridges right there. That's a Twitch drop. And this has just been added to the Rust door. So I'm still expecting more fridges in general with normal Rust doors. And for Halloween. And for Christmas. So it's getting a bit concerning. That fridge doing between 10 to 13,000 subscribers honestly isn't that much. But you might have noticed, you know, just what we saw there. Whilst these fridges aren't down ridiculously in price, they're still down. It's not profitable, so smart build is definitely going to be how we approach it. Maybe we might see more of this collection, but I don't really know if anything's going to get a real big boost. In fact, with this appearing, I could just quickly double check, because SEMM doesn't always update perfectly. Is the locker doing better now? 1.17, how are we doing? And the answer is, right now it's sitting here at $1.17. Yeah, okay. Collection isn't in demand at the moment, it seems. I worry for it. I'm not feeling confident. Deep Ruby Boots, currently just under 6,000 subscribers. What did I compare to, though? What did I think would be a good help? I'm trying to figure out how many sales they have after, you know, a whole week in a Rust door. Boots, I thought Porcelain Boots and Deep Ruby Gloves. So that's going back quite a fair bit. Oh, there we go. Porcelain Boots did 4,300 subscribers, almost 4,400. And this right here, the Roadside Gloves, did just over 3,700. So we're going to go in between. Okay, right. Well, if we quickly go take a look at those, let's just go and see. When were you? You're about like, not the 31st, but just a bit before. Or were you just a little bit afterwards? Let me just try and find out. I think I've gone too far. I don't know where I am. I'm lost and I need help. Oh, seriously, where am I? So this is the Rust door with the Sinotype components. Ah, okay, I see. So if I go back over to here, if I can look and see it, no, this one. Perfect. Right. 9,500 subscribers almost, and 8,300 subscribers almost. So I looked at the boots, and I thought, okay, 8 to 11,000 subscribers. Is that okay though? Well, if it sticks with the lower side, it looks like it'll match up with the Roadside Gloves, which shouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad. It should be all right. But for the Deep Ruby, you know, the other Deep Ruby skins, if I can recall, the Hoodie Pants only did like 7,500 subscribers. Yep, 7,700, 7,700. Tier 2, only 1,000 more. Look at it. Look at the difference. Oh. It's not a very in-demand collection, but some of those skins are working out very nicely. I did say this in my Rust rotation video, in my predictions video. I said if the boots match up to like the gloves, if it sticks with like a similar subscriber count as the Hoodie Pants, chances are it could work out quite nicely. Maybe people will truly embrace becoming eggplant. So, okay, fair enough. But I'm still not 100% convinced. I think you're better off with a buy order. So yeah, if that's going to do between 8 to 11, there's a chance it might sell a little bit more compared to the gloves, and of course the hoodie and pants, and of course the tier 2. Still hoping to see like tier 3, but yeah. So I'm not 100% convinced. I'm pretty sure we can be happy with that answer. And I hope you're happy with this answer as well, because looking at the Celestial Harmony wooden double door and going back and looking at what we saw over to here, they had very similar subscriber counts. So I'm actually under the impression that I should also incorporate the Celestial Harmony wooden double door and comparing it with the Deep Ruby roadside gloves and of course the porcelain boots. I think this will be in the lower side of things and the boots will be in the higher side of things. I get the feeling it's going to sell more than the gloves and the hoodie and pants and the tier 2. But this right here, very likely, most likely, will be selling less than 10,000 subscribers. I am looking at this after looking at it in the Rust Rotation showcase. I mean, it's a very nice looking skin. And chances are we might be seeing even more of it. Has anyone asked for it? Let's find out. Has anyone asked? We're already working on a continuation. Perfect. Wonderful. Right, so what's next? No idea. It could be a locker, a large box, a small box. It could be a door of any sort. Doesn't matter. If we see more, the more the merrier. This is a wooden double door. Let me point this out to you. Before we had the special initiative in the official Rust Game Making Discord to make skins for items that just don't get that many skins, wooden double door submissions used to be a very rare sight to see. Very rare. Over the past month, we saw a lot of wooden double door submissions. But in the most recent Rust Workshop skin checks, 0. At best, every other week I might notice one wooden double door submission. Recently we've had quite a lot being accepted, but I expect everything to return to normal afterwards. We don't really see that many wooden double doors, so if I could just quickly show you this. This year is an anomaly. I lost my tongue. An anomaly. There you go. Last year we only had one. Last year, the year before that, we had 2 Twitch drops and 1 being accepted. The year before that, just 1. The year before that, just 1. So I think I've made my point. We are expecting to return to this, just 1 a year. If that happens, I can't help but assume this is going to progress very nicely. Sheer lack of sales leads to sheer lack of listings, which can usually lead to higher prices. And if we see more collection continuations, more deplorables in a proposed Celestial Harmony, deplorable collection, well, that's only making it look even more appealing. It's only making it look even more interesting. And I really do think I'm going to jump in and buy a bunch of these. This wooden double door looks to be very, very reliable. Let's hope it is. So if that ends up with only like 8,000 subscribers, I'm jumping onto that. And conveniently, it is abnormal. All right? So we can get those barters in and we can be nice and happy when we see it slowly rise up in price. Hopefully. Like maybe it might get a few more sales on the last day and buy a few, maybe like an extra 1,000. We'll see. Okay. So clearly you can tell I'm very behind this. It's looking like it's going to be a very, very interesting situation. Even with the upcoming autumn-fall seasonal dip, September, October, November, doesn't look too bad. So we'll wait and see, all right? Next Wednesday, when I do the Abnormal Barders stream and, of course, recording the video, I'll look at all the skin sales, make considerations in what I want to offer for the skins, and we'll race to put those barders down. So that's all said. Nice. Lovely. Let's just talk about some other things. So if I could quickly hop back over to here, I'd like to point out my 3rd video for the Road to Big Grin series is up. You can see that right over here. So if you're a little bit confused, you might be sitting there and saying, what? Road to Big Grin? Yeah. This is a video series where I made a brand new account. I only gave it $100 and I can't trade anything onto it. I can't do anything other than buy and sell Rust skins. That's what I've been doing. And, well, in my 3rd installment, I actually talk about quite a lot of mistakes I made. I got so used to having multiple accounts with quite a lot of funds to work with, I neglected to do barders appropriately in a certain manner. Now, what is that I'm talking about? What is there to learn from my mistakes? Consider watching this video right here. And I think for you newer people who only have so much budget to work with, something like this whole series, I think it's going to be very helpful for you. Unfortunately, it's been quite slow because I haven't been able to do anything until I got my barders through and whatnot, unfortunately. But I have been making profits. I have been making sales. I have been making purchases. And I have been making more sales. So Lots to learn. Consider giving it a watch. Maybe even watch the first part and then watch the rest afterwards. So cool. Is there anything else Hedge needs to yap about? Well, if I could quickly hop over to here. You know, recently, how, Face Punch was asking, what weapon skins would you like to see next? Like, what weapons should become skinnable next? So this is tools now, as you can see. But how long ago was it? So if I could just scroll down, scroll. It's like 2 months ago. There you go. August 17. No, it was a month ago, Hedge. Not even that. I made a special video discussing this, didn't I? Do you reckon I should have a special video discussing this? Is Face Punch now sitting here and trying to figure out one weapon and one tool to become skinnable next? Or multiple? Maybe I might need to make a video discussing this as well. It'd be a bit short, but it would be nice to get some interactions from you. What tools would you like to see become skinnable next? Notably, in the list they provide, salvaged axe. How come we have salvaged ice pick skins but not salvaged axe skins? Wire tool, handcuffs, torches. They've offered the idea of Ruskin creators being able to make torch skins. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make that much with it. It might be cool. I mean, would you like a whiteout torch? Cool, imagine if they could change the colour of the flame. That'd be awesome. I think a lot of people actually pay for that. Anyway, consider taking part in this. Just reminding all of you though, if you click the form to take part, it will show your YouTube, your Gmail account, all right? The one you're already signed into. So if you're a bit cautious about that, be aware. Yeah, I think I might make another video talking about this. And eventually, we'll probably have one for deplorables. We'll probably have ones for clothing and armour. But then again, what needs to be skinnable from clothing and armour? What needs to be skinnable from deplorables? That's a good shout. So, just wanted to mention to you. Deplorables, you say, Hedge? Well, I know for a fact that a lot of people want bed skins. And I know for a fact a lot of people here want a rust-themed race car bed. Face Punch. Everybody has the money for a race car bed. Please consider it. We've been very good this year. Can we have it for Christmas, please? I know a lot of people want a race car bed. Face Punch, if you're making a lot of homely sort of DLCs, can we have like a bedroom pack? We need to have a race car bed. Anyway, that's a nice thing to discuss. Feel free to comment below your thoughts. Do you want a race car bed or do you want something different? A bunk bed? That'd be some sort of Twitch drop or something. That'd be cool, but you get the idea. So is that everything? Well, I probably should discuss this because I saw Protox mention this, but he got it wrong. I want to sound mean, but I should clarify. Yes, Rust Kingdoms is taking place between the 20th to the 30th of September. But to clarify, because if I could just quickly take a look at this tweet, and I do apologise, Mr. Protox, but some other people most likely got confused with this as well. If I could just quickly go to home, click there, go over to here. I did respond to a post he made. There it is. So where am I? If I click this and scroll up, I think so. There you go. No, this is wrong. Good job, Hedge. You're doing very good. Yeah, perfect. That's it. That's it right there. What's that? That's my Twitch drop. But no, that's not for the that is not for the Rust Kingdoms event that's taken place. That's a submission, and as you can see here, this backpack is also expected to be a submission. That is from Alpacita. I hope I pronounced that correctly. That is an alpaca backpack. It's to be very nice and fluffy and comfy on your back. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would greatly appreciate that. So these are submissions. What you're most likely going to see are these are going to be for a future homebrew, probably. We've put it into the pool of contention, all right? So if Face Punch like, you know what, we should do another round of Twitch drops, they'll probably do another homebrew. So that's like people who stream on Twitch a lot and whatnot. You get the idea. Like right now, I'm on stream right now. Glassholio, Lukey, Chucky, how you doing? How you doing? And Mechanics, don't worry, Mr. Mechanics, sorry, I was a little bit slow there, but yeah, I've been taking part in the sub-village again today. I am so tired. So just want to clarify, the Twitch drops, the ones that have become noticeable, like the ones we can see are WillNeff's metal chest plate and the Sykkuno MP5. And I have made a short video showcasing this already. I've done a comparison with this and the Heatseeker MP5. And whilst the Heatseeker MP5 whilst it has more transparency, the amount this has is very nice, very comparable, and that's going to be available for absolutely free. You just have to spend 2 hours of your time watching Mr. Sykkuno stream on Twitch. It's not hard. He's a very nice streamer, very lovely person. I'm sure you'll have a lovely time watching him, and I'm sure you're going to have a lovely time afterwards because you're going to get that white, transparent aim sight MP5 that I'm thinking a lot of you are going to greatly appreciate. Comics MP5, you say? Quite expensive? No more. I have this. And I think a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate. So if you want to get a good look at that, I've actually just put up a tweet talking about it. It's, where is it, Hedge? Well, if you go over to Hedge's Twitter, it'll be linked in the description. If you scroll down, oh, there you go. And that video right there, that was already uploaded in my shorts. Hedge is always uploading shorts non-stop. Right there. September 25 Twitch drops. I basically pointed out they're starting to appear in the workshop. And over the course of the next week, I'm pretty sure we're going to see even more. I'm expecting probably up to 14, something like that. A nice even number. Around 10 to 15 is the expectation. It's the bigger streamers. The top of the top. The big viewership streamers on Twitch. That's the expectation, not me. I only do like 70 to 100 on average. Yapping about pixels, which is still surprising, but hey, people turn up. They know exactly what they're going to get. So, yeah, that's it. That's basically everything. And thank you very much for watching the video. That's all I can really say. Do consider giving this a good watch, though, especially if you're a newer person. I am limiting myself to be in the same position as you. Now I have to try and figure out how can I get out of it. How can I become something like a rich person? Yes. Don't want to sound mean, but yeah, it's a struggle. It is. I know. That's why I don't want to go back. So yeah, that's it. That is essentially everything. How's the player count? We did go higher today with the peak player count for this weekend, 152,000 for the September Force Wipe. Now I will confirm, comparing to last year, we have gone up higher, but September is usually where we see the first big drop off. Last year, we had a pretty negative gain. Oh, negative 14,000 for the average player count. I'm still expecting a pretty high number, but it is expected to be lower than August, and of course July, and June, and May. So, will this be like 90,000? Probably. But with that October update, which of course, if you just go to Google, type in Face Punch blog, and I'll link this in the description just to make it easy for you. Go read it for yourself. In the most recent blog post, the September blog post, they quite literally point out Naval update is coming out for November 2025, and the big, interesting balancing update is October 2025, next month, in a few weeks' time. You've got to keep an eye on the commits. So right here, as it's listed, looking ahead to October, we're lining up some strong meta and balance changes. Feel free to comment below right now. What weapons would you like to see being nerfed? What weapons would you like to see being buffed? Would you like to see the LR300 actually being comparable to the AK-47? Or does the idea of that disgust you? Don't think about the skins. Think about the actual meta. How fun it is at the moment with gunplay. Offer your opinions, please. Comment below. But Naval update. The big, juicy content. That's coming out in November. Just before Christmas. And of course, during the Christmas period. Lots of time off. And during that time off, lots of people playing Rust. Lots more people playing means better demand for skins and much better prices, much higher prices. The best time to sell your skins, January 2026. Be ready, be prepared. I'm losing my head, sorry. I've been up late for a few days and I'm losing my sleep. I'm going crazy. Chat, I don't know how you put up with me, but I do appreciate the fact that you stuck around. I've actually had to start this very video like 5 times because I kept jumbling my words at the very beginning. That's normal. But in this particular instance, it was pretty stupid. So, okay, cool. Let's see if the player counts improve later this year. They certainly did last year, and that's why I'm expecting the exact same behaviour to happen all over again, especially with these juicy updates just around the corner. Whilst kids have gone back to school, they can put homework aside for now because they need to play Rust. They need to see how the AK plays now if it had a nerf. They need to see how the Thompson plays now if it got a buff, you know, if, maybe, we don't know. You've got to keep an eye on the commits to find out. And speaking of, have you noticed the interesting work being done to make it that you can jump on your bike? Yeah, I'll link that in the description as well. To be able to jump after, you know, there you go, he just jumped over the log. And then he crashed. Yay! Oh, mate. So many fun videos to be made, crashing after doing so many mistakes. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to your investments. Let's see how much each of these skins sell by next week, next Thursday. And don't forget, Wednesday night next week, look at my description right now. You see the link to my Twitch. I'll be streaming. I'll be discussing prices I want to offer for these skins. And of course, we'll race to put those barders down. Cool. So that's it. That's everything. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Say goodbye.